Most of you have probably heard of the healing peptide stack named the Wolverine, but the combination we're discussing today takes that duo to the next level. And before you roll your eyes at another overhyped stack, you need to understand that these four compounds aren't even running in the same lane. Tesamorelin goes directly after your deep visceral belly fat, like a sniper. CJC 1295 and Ipamorelin, they wake up your natural growth hormone production. And they do that by going through two completely different pathways while still hitting the same exact target in the end. And BPC 157, that's the wild card. It doesn't touch your growth hormone at all. Instead, it rushes straight into your damaged tissue and makes them up to 7 times more sensitive to the hormonal surge the other three are about to create. So this is a situation of supply and demand, where 3 peptides create the supply and 1 takes care of the demand, all 4 at the tissue level. So let's call this the Apex protocol. And here's how and why it works. Your body has a master signal that tells your brain to release growth hormone. Tesamorelin mimics that signal perfectly. It flips a switch inside your pituitary gland. But here's what makes it different. It preferentially targets visceral fat. And that's not the soft, pinchable fat under your skin. It's that hard, dangerous fat wrapped around your organs, the kind that refuses to budge no matter how clean your diet is. And it's actually FDA approved, which in the peptide world, pretty rare. But beyond just fat loss, people report sharper mental clarity, better energy, improved cholesterol and triglycerides, and better insulin sensitivity. Tesamorelin does its job and then clears your system in about 30 minutes. So you take it once daily, typically 5 days on, 2 days off, and you usually run it for about a 3-month cycle. Now, as a side note, if you're diabetic, watch your blood sugar, because growth hormone affects how your body handles glucose. And if you have cancer, that's a hard stop, because it repairs and strengthens all cells, not just the ones you want made stronger. The next part of this stack is Tesamorelin and CJC 1295. Tesamorelin is a quick focused burst, and CJC 1295 is what keeps the engine running in the background. If you think of Tesamorelin as a text message to your pituitary, CJC 1295, it's a phone call that stays on the line for hours. And that sustained signal keeps your growth hormone and its downstream partner, IGF-1, elevated. So your body's able to hold on to lean muscle, recover from brutal workouts, and actually sleep through the night. Ipamorelin, this is where the synergy starts. Tesamorelin and CJC, they both knock on the front door of your pituitary, but Ipamorelin walks around the back and knocks on the back door at the same time. And when you ring both doorbells at the same time, you don't just get a slightly stronger response, because clinical data shows 3 to 5 times the growth hormone release compared to running any one of these compounds by themselves. It's one of those 1 + 1 = 3 kind of scenarios. And Ipamorelin, it's surgically clean. And by that I mean older secretagogues used to spike cortisol, which is your stress hormone, right alongside GH, which mostly cancels out all the benefits. But Ipamorelin has one target, which is growth hormone, and nothing else gets activated. It fires fast and clears your system in about 2 hours. So it's dosed at night to sync with your body's natural repair window during deep sleep, because that's when your body does its best work. And Ipamorelin amplifies that window dramatically. And now, the wild card. BPC 157 doesn't release growth hormone at all. So where does it fit into this blend? While the other 3 are flooding your bloodstream with growth hormone, BPC 157 is already at the job site. It's at your damaged tendons, torn muscles, inflamed gut lining, doing something the others can't do from the bloodstream. It makes your cells hungry for growth hormone. Specifically, it multiplies the growth hormone receptors inside of your target tissues. It's like the other 3 peptides are sending additional trucks to the construction site, and BPC 157 is building more loading docks so those trucks can actually unload. It also builds brand new blood vessels into areas completely starved. See, tendons and ligaments, they don't heal well because they can barely get repair materials in, but BPC 157 is able to widen existing rows while also building new ones. And with the first 3 peptides, you've got supply. And with BPC 157, you now have demand. And a huge problem with peptides is burnout. Most protocols that rely on one compound eventually hit a wall. The receptor gets overused, the response blunts, and the result, they plateau. But this blend sidesteps that completely, because CJC and Ipamorelin are using 2 entirely different doors into the same house, so neither one gets overloaded. Your body's own safety system, the feedback loop that prevents dangerous GH spikes, can stay intact the entire time. So you get more signal, better reception along two separate pathways, resulting in zero burnout. Now let's talk about who this protocol is actually for. If you're over 35 and your body just doesn't recover the way it used to, the belly fat is winning no matter what you eat. Workouts take forever to bounce back from, and your sleep isn't restorative. That's your growth hormone declining with age, and it happens to everyone. So this protocol is designed for exactly that. If you have a chronic injury that just won't fully heal, like an Achilles at 80% for 2 years, a shoulder that keeps flaring, a knee that never came back, BPC 157 compounded with the GH support from the other three is one of the most powerful healing protocols available. Athletes have been running versions of this for years. If you're on a GLP-1, semaglutide, tirzepatide, retatrutide, the whole category, you're losing weight, but you're also at serious risk of losing muscle right along with the fat. This blend acts as a preservation shield for your lean muscle during caloric restriction. It's one of the most clinically sound combinations for anyone on a GLP-1 program. And lastly, if you have gut issues alongside of physical pain, such as chronic bloating, leaky gut, acid reflux, GI inflammation, then BPC 157's gut healing properties are perfect for you. So the bottom line is you get 4 peptides and you only have to inject once. 3 of those are hitting growth hormone production from completely different angles, while 1 is prepping your tissues to use every bit of it. That's the Apex protocol, and it's available at Viking, because getting old is inevitable, but feeling old and looking old, that's a choice.